Alright, I have a couple questions for you for my history presentation. First one is, when you practiced drills in school, did they explain what they were about?
You know, they didn't go into great detail and explanation of exactly, in other words, they didn't talk about this could be the end of the world, this could blow up from here to Los Angeles, anything detailed like that. They did let you know that, this is preparation for an attack on the country, and that we needed to react and do a certain thing at a certain time when we got the warning, but they didn't, again, go into just great detail and great explanation of what it was. We also lived in an area where there was earthquakes, and so they used the drills, if you will, for kind of both, and kind of explained it that way. If an earthquake hit, this is what we've got to do, and at the same time, if someone attacked our country, again, they didn't all the time use the word they bombed, put the big one, the H-bomb or anything like that, but yeah, they explained it on the fringe, and you kind of knew what it was all about.
Okay, and next one, what did your parents feel like when Japan attacked the U.S.?
I remember talking to my mom and dad after, years afterwards, of course. It happened in 42, but my mom was in a movie theater, so they came up on the movie theater and said, hey, the country is being attacked and everybody's got to go home, and so they ran home, of course, and they were finding out details about what was going on. I remember years later when we all went through 9/11 and what that felt like, and I think talking to them even further about it and asking them after the 9/11 attack, was that what it felt like when Japan attacked us? And it was very similar. There was a lot of fear, chaos, not knowing, hard to believe it would happen in our country, that someone would come over here and bomb us. So I think a lot of the things that we felt during the 9/11 attack were what my parents expressed and felt with the Japanese attacking us at Pearl Harbor.
Did you know much about other countries and what bombs they had, or was it just, did you just know it from your parents and, school, or?
Of course, the big ones, the big country that everybody knew about, and you read about, you talked about, you heard about, was the USSR. They, of course, were the other, big daddy in the world along with us. So there were two superpowers, and they were the ones that the media, in conversation with parents together at parties or whatever, that would come up more about the USSR. So that's the only country that I really recall that you knew a lot about, you didn't know details about, but USSR meant something, where other countries in the world, really, there wasn't a lot of significance. So I think it was more USSR and the big guys, the big guns that they were, more than knowing about any other countries.
So, growing up, was the fear of war a part of everyday life, or just something you feared, overall, and not thought about it every day, in and out?
I would probably say that it wasn't an everyday fear. You didn't live every day wondering if this was the day that, that the world was going to end. I think that we were very aware of it, though, because of, again, all of the drills that we did, and at the school, the few at home that we did. You'd be watching the TV, and listening to the radio, and there would be emergency broadcasting practices that would come on, and it was all about being attacked, and so you definitely were reminded of it enough that you did have fear. Again, every day. I don't think it was an everyday fear, but it was definitely a part of your life. And as a kid, it was very fearful. You really wondered about, God, could they drop a bomb, and could we drop a bomb, and then all of a sudden they were two powerful bombs that end the whole world. That was something as a kid, I thought about.
Did you ever practice drills at home to be ready for the attacks, or were they just at school and outside of?
Yeah, we did. We kind of did some. We did some fun ones really at home. You know, we'd be sitting around the dinner table and there's 7 kids and all pretty close in age, and all of a sudden my mom, half jokingly and half serious, was, you know, hey, everybody hit the ground. So we'd all scramble, you know, half laughing, half serious,
Yeah.
get underneath the table like we were supposed to do at the dinner table, you know, cover your head. And so, and then I also remember that we had a neighbor that they actually had a bomb shelter that was built, and so we used to go into that bomb shelter playing, you know, just having fun, you know, playing. Oh, the big ones come, we'd run in there and close the doors and be kind of hiding, but it was kind of more of a playful thing. But if at some point that ever did need to happen, whether it was get under the table or go in the shelter, we'd have been ready for it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you very much for your time. I appreciate it, and very helpful.
No problem. Good to be here.